Welcome back to another video. We're gonna take a look at how we can customize CATIA V5. So I have over here a fresh install. I will start the software. And we're gonna see that by default, since this is CATIA 2027, this will go to the user interface entitled P3, which will have this bluish tint, as you can see, and also the icons are a little bit different. For example, we see over here for the isometric view, we have this one, isometric view, and we have this gradient in the back with the right variety of colors, so all the way from blue. If I will look all the way down, we're gonna see that it will look like this with a reddish tint. Now, there are various elements change. For example, we see how the left view will look like over here, the back view, top view. For the shaded with the materials, they look quite the same. There's only a little bit of change over here, as we can see. And we also have this view that popped over here, which uses the old visualization elements. So we see once for the isometric view, we have the older version over here, and we have the newer version. Now, if I will jump, for example, within part design, so I will go to Start, Mechanical Design, Part Design. We're going to see that again, we're going to have that grid in the back, but later the other changes are not, let's say, that major regarding version 2. So we have the same functionality over here. As we can see, we have the same rectangle. By default, this is enabled, so snap to point. But this is quite annoying since we have that gradient in the back. So let's take a look at how we can change that. So I will just go to Tools, afterwards Options. And over here we have the user interface at the top. And I'm going to choose P2. We can also change the background as well if we only want to change that. But I will take this to the user interface style, which is P2. So all I have to do now is reset the software. So I don't want to save that part. I will restart the same application. So CATIA V5. And as we can see, since I changed this to be P2 user interface, this will look like, let's say, the most widely used interface for CATIA V5. Again, we have those two view at the bottom, so that was one, this is the other one. I prefer to have this closed because we already have them over here positioned, so we have the view panel over there. And now if I will jump, for example, to part design, we're going to see that this will be the part design workbench. Now, regarding on the resolution of your screen, some of the tools may be embedded over here on the ribbon to the right. So I recommend that you will move those until there will be no more features underneath over here. So as you can see, these are all the panels. You can also make those vertical. So they are vertical, you can have them change to horizontal. So they were vertical, so you can have those change. You will have to use the ribbon to do that. You can also enable additional elements. For example, if you're going to right click on the empty ribbon, you can enable the graphic properties over here. So we see we have the graphic properties, which will usually take place over here on the left. And I recommend that you will do the same for all the workbenches, since those features will be nested over there and you won't have access to all of those. So for example, we see that part design no longer has elements over there, but another workbench which is quite common and popular in CATIA, it is generative shape design, and this has a lot of tools, as we can see over here. So these are the operation toolbar. We have the following one. So as you can see, I managed to close that. So that was the annotation. As we can see, I can enable and enable that, but it still won't appear. So if you encounter a problem similar to this one, you're gonna see that the annotations will pop over here again, and you can have those realign. So let's see if I can trigger this to be, let's say, disappearing again, but as we can see, it will no longer. So this is embedded, so this is a visual error that appears over here. As we can see, we have the window remaining over here, but those will already be moved, so they are already positioned underneath the ribbon. So keep that in mind. Again, for generative shape design, I highly recommend that you will move a lot of elements over there, so depending on the screen size. I'm currently on full HD screen. As you can see, generative shape design has a lot of elements. So you can also make them on 2 rows over here. If you don't have enough room, I highly recommend that you will use this 2 ribbon layer for some workbenches. And let's see, another change that we should make on a fresh CATIA V5 install is regarding the visual elements. So for example, if I will make a circle over here, so I will have that grid no longer snapped, and I will have this. I will go to part design because I don't want to fill in that in order to define a cylinder, so this will be faster. And as you can see, by default we have those visible edges, so for the circle, and you can change this within tools, options. This will be regarding the performance, so you will have to go within display and you're gonna have the performance over here. So we have the 3D accuracy and the 2D accuracy. For the 3D accuracy, I usually add another 0 over here, and as soon as I will click OK, we're gonna see how this will be much sharper. So we see that, and you can also change the 2D performance. As you can see, we have it by default on 0.02, so that is usually a good value. But this is really important, the 3D accuracy. For example, if I will take this all the way up to 1, we're gonna see how that circle will look mostly like a polygon, as you can see over here, with multiple edges. So this is a really important change within CATIA. And other than that, these are all the changes that I usually do when I do a fresh CATIA install. So I hope that you find this video useful. If so, I have a playlist on my channel with various CATIA tips and tricks. There are currently around 70 videos over there, so consider to check those as well if you are interested in other aspects. I will also position a similar video over here to the left and a subscribe button to the right. So thanks for watching.